Ang sinasabi ni VP Sara Duterte, number one, conditional daw. I don't know how that changes anything, if it does change anything legally or it's immaterial. And number two, her claim is that it is a plan without flesh. So therefore, it is being taken out of context and being pushed past logic. What is your position, sir?
Blown out of proportion daw at saka hyperbole lang.
Well, okay. I think everyone in the Philippines has probably watched yung video. And if you make a transcript out of the video, you can see the clear and in no uncertain terms did the Vice President say na meron na siyang nakuhang nakausap na tao at inutusan niya yung tao na ito na patayin ang ating Pangulo, ang First Lady at ang Speaker of the House, Martin Romualdez, at hindi siya dapat huminto hanggat hindi namamatay sila.
Yes.
And when asked about this, she confirmed, the assassin confirmed, opo, yes. And the Vice President even added, no joke, no joke.
Yes.
So given the exact statements given by the Vice President, parang maliwanag po na hindi lang siya nagbabalak. May kinausap na po siyang individual na gagawa ng kanyang criminal na layunin. So in that sense, it is not theoretical, it is not conditional dahil po may ginawa na siyang actual na steps to consummate the intended assassination of the President. Okay, I've been hearing you've been discussing the term conditional threat. There is no such thing in legal contemplation as conditional threat. A threat is a threat. If I say that if you do not fulfill your obligation, I will kill you, that is plain and simple threat. Whether or not you fulfill your obligation, threat pa rin yun. Kasi sinabi mo na pag hindi mo ginawa ang pinag-usapan natin, papatayin kita. That is still a plain and simple threat. No such thing as conditional.
Sabi ko nga kanina, Yusek,
parang code is very clear on that.
Sabi ko nga kanina, Yusek, parang semi-pregnant yan eh. Either you are pregnant or not. No?
It's either a threat or it's not a threat. And just to clarify, on the issue of immunity, the Vice President does not enjoy immunity from suit. Plain and simple. The Constitution vests upon the President only the privilege of immunity from suit during his term. So maliwanag po yan, yung accountability ng Vice President can be exacted administratively, criminally, and she is not immune from suit. Only the President. But yung final removal from office, if ever that is in the horizon, is only by impeachment. That's a different matter because that is a political exercise. It's not a judicial or legal exercise. It is a legal exercise, but it's not a judicial exercise. So everything that we are doing now is just the mandate of the Department of Justice. Ang Department of Justice po, kami po ang inatasan sa batas na mag-execute ng laws, mag-conduct ng investigation, at mag-prosecute ng criminal offenders. So after the declaration given by the Vice President openly and admittedly, we have to take action because everyone is already aware of this threat. And this threat is not lodged simply on an ordinary individual. He is the head of the Republic of the Philippines, our duly elected president. It cannot be a light matter. Kaya ang nangyari na po ngayon, as we have announced yesterday, we have asked the National Bureau of Investigation to issue a subpoena. Dahil po sa batas, ang National Bureau of Investigation ay inaatasan na mag-imbestiga ng lahat ng threats, particularly sa high-ranking officers like the President, the Vice President, and even the Chief Justice and the Speaker of the House, Senate President. So yan pong mga tao na yan, kapag may threat sa kanila, NBI po ang nakalagay sa batas na may primary jurisdiction to investigate. So, naririnig ko po yung usapan ninyo.
Yes,
no? If I can just react.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
yung preliminary investigation before the filing of a criminal case is lodged with the Department of Justice, correctly,
Yes.
the National Prosecution Service. Ako po yung Undersecretary in charge of the National Prosecution Service. Yung NBI po, tama rin, is an agency under the Department of Justice at ahensya po yan na dinedirect ng Secretary of Justice to conduct investigations. So ang first step po sa ganitong insidente is to validate the facts and to gather evidence. Kaya po yung una, pag nagpalabas ng video, ang first step po natin is to authenticate it and to preserve yung video po na yan dahil that will be used in the course of the investigation para po makuha yung konteksto. Simula hanggang dulo, kailangan pong reviewin yan at kailangan i-preserve. Dahil the course of the investigation and eventually if there will be a trial or prosecution, we need this evidence to be preserved. Ginawa na po ng NBI yan. So,
Yes.
ang dalawang step is to issue the subpoena. Yung subpoena po na yan, kanina umaga, dinala po ng agencies, ng ahente pala, ng NBI sa Office of the Vice President. And if I am not mistaken, natanggap na po itong
Yes, sir.
subpoena na yan. And that is part of the duty of the NBI. Bibigyan po natin ng pagkakataon ang Vice Presidente to shed light on the matter dahil very serious po yung declaration niya. And having preserved the evidence, ang tatanungin po namin ngayon, nung binabanggit niya na meron na siyang na-engage na particular na hired killer or assassin, sino po ito? At ano po ang usapan nila? I think it is incumbent upon the Vice President to answer questions because this is an investigation of a duly constituted law enforcement agent, yung NBI. Baka sasabihin niya, taken out of context, pakinggan po natin. Pero we will give her a chance to explain. At ang pagkaalam ko po, hindi naman issue sa kanya. At haharap daw siya. At ipaliliwanag niya kung ano yung, siguro, what are the circumstances behind the issuance of the statement. But what is very compelling for the department to act is because the threat is coming from a very influential person. Please understand, it is not just the case that happened in the Duterte administration where
Yes, sir. We
a
remember
public
that.
school teacher, by merely posting a social media message na babayaran ko ng 50 million ang isang tao na papatay kay Presidente Duterte. Ang ginawa po ng NBI, without any due process, found the person, arrested, and jailed the person. Hindi po kami sang-ayon sa ganung proseso. At dapat ho magbigay ng due process, magkaroon ng pagkakataon na magkapaliwanagan bago ho magde-deprive ng liberty ang isang tao. At gagawin po namin yan. We have nothing personal. The Department of Justice, the National Prosecution Service has nothing personal against the sitting Vice President. However, given her utterances and the seriousness of the threat to the President, we have to act. Kasi marami na po masyadong mga usap-usapan na wala bang tatayo sa gobyerno to defend the rule of law? Bakit po people get away with so many things, accusing people, cursing people, using foul language, declaring this and that without any accountability? So kami po ngayon, there has to come a point where, you have to hold people accountable for their actions. And this is being done because it is our duty. As I said
Yes,
in
sir.
previous interviews, what is on trial
Yes,
is
sir.
also our justice system. Hindi lang po si Sara Duterte po ito.
Yes, sir. Ami,
Ano
go
po
ahead.
ba ang accountability mechanism natin?
Yusek, meron din bang effort to determine kung totoo nga yung threat din naman kay Vice President? Kasi yun ang himutok din niya Bakit daw yung threat niya kay President Marcos siniseryoso? Bakit daw hindi siniseryoso yung sinasabi niya na merong din threat to her life? So is there also an effort on the part of any agency in government to verify kung may basis nga yung sinasabi niya na may gustong magpapatay sa kanya? Meron din bang ganon?
Thank you po for raising that point. The NBI also is tasked by law to investigate if there is any threat to the Vice President kasi mataas na opisyalis po yan. At sa intelligence reports po ng NBI, wala po kaming natatanggap. So, ang Vice Presidente po, sa kapanahunan nakaharap siya sa NBI or even sooner, maaari siyang lumapit sa amin at sabihin kung ano yung nalalaman niyang possible threat on her life. And we will act on it. Gobyerno po tayo, we are a government of laws. We will be addressing the concerns of every Filipino. Vice Presidente po siya, meron po siyang threat na nalalaman, iharap po niya sa amin. At we will handle it together with her. We will help her determine kung sino po yung ng source ng threat na yan. And we will do everything to protect her.
Lalo
But as
na.
of now, wala po kaming naririnig directly coming from the Vice President to the NBI or to any police agency regarding a threat on her life.
Lalo na, Yusek, sinabi ng Vice President na isa lang naman daw yung may indication na ipapatay siya. At in-specify pa niya yon, no?
Yun
So,
po
baka yung burden of proof ay, or at least an indication na may threat sa kanya, ay kailangan sabihin din naman niya. No? Dahil mahirap naman sabihin na, ito, ipapatay ako ni Ed Lingao. No? Pero wala naman ako maipakitang kahit man lang text na sinasabi ni Ed Lingao na ipapatira niya ako.
Yun nga po ang delikado dyan. Pag meron pong nangyari sa Vice Presidente na hindi naman po gawain ng anybody in the institution, in the government, baka ho ang pagbintangan ang Pangulo. Napakahirap po na senaryo yun dahil sinabi niya kagad na kapag may mangyari sa kanya, ang itinuturo niya yun. Kaya nga ho, ang due process po dapat po everything, the legal remedies that we may have for criminal offenses should be coursed through the legal system. Meron po tayong vibrant, effective legal system. Yan po ang paniniwala namin at pinatitibay po namin yan. Kaya yung pag-file po ng kaso, if ever we will do it against the Vice President, it is only after gathering all evidence needed to prove the offense is charged. Iba na po ang stand ng DOJ ngayon. Tinanggal na po namin yung probable cause in filing cases against individuals. No. It is reasonable certainty of conviction na evidence at hand in the possession of the law enforcement agents and the Department of Justice before a case is filed in court. Iyan po isa sa mga reforma natin. Kaya makikinabang po lahat ng tao dyan, kasama po ang Vice President. No harassment cases will be filed. So nakakatiyak po kayo na pag kami nag-file, solid pong ebidensya namin. Hindi po kami maglalagak ng matatalo o mahinang kaso.
Yusek, one more question from me. I'll go back to what you said earlier na walang immunity ang Vice Presidente, tama po. Pero at the same time, she can only be removed through impeachment. So, what are the options on the table kung gano'n? If she cannot be removed other than impeachment, then what is the purpose or use or the effect of any case that may, if at all, be filed against her because she has no immunity?
Ibig sabihin na, Yusek, pwede siya makulong, at the same time, siya ay Vice President pa rin. Yung ba yung ibig sabihin?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Please understand the totality, the bigger picture. What kind of a society will we have if persons are exempted from accountability? Yan po ang reklamo ng ordinaryong tao. Kaya po kami sa DOJ, we institutionalize all of these reforms dahil ang sinasabi nga nila, yung batas natin, pabor sa mayayaman yan . Ang nahihirapan lang yung underprivileged, yung mga marginalized, sila po nakakasuhan. Napaka mali pong konsepto yun dahil dapat po ang sistema ng judiciary natin, ang sistema legal natin, patas-patas po, mayaman o mahirap, kailangan po managot sa batas. No one is above the law. Kaya trial po ito eh. Wala po kaming personal na gustong laban sa Vice Presidente. Halal po siya ng tao. Pero we have to do our part in the National Prosecution Service.
Yes, sir.
Doon po nakaatas eh.
Yes, sir.
Kaya yung investigation will proceed. And if there is evidence, we will file the cases.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just to be
Sir,
clear, sir,
may nagsalita kahapon sa NBI, ang tinitingnan daw na possible cases si grave threat and sedition. Could you run us through yung possibility na sedition nga siya?
Yeah. Unang-una ho, no, I do not want to prejudge the case. No? I am just making this discussion as an academic discussion. Grave threats can be committed when someone threatens to inflict harm to an individual or to his family. So, napakasimple po ng elemento nun na kapag kayo ay nag-threaten ng physical harm sa isang tao o sa kanyang pamilya, automatic grave threats na po yun. Kasi why will you threaten anybody? Nagdi-disturb po ng peace and order yan eh. So, that is as simple, as clear as day. Pag kayo ay may tinakot, no such thing as a conditional threat. Pag kayo ay may tinakot, meron pong criminal liability under the revised penal code for grave threats. Pangalawa, meron din po tayong crime ng sedition. Sedition, rebellion po, iba yun, yung pinatutumba na yung gobyerno. Pero yung sedition, tinatanggal po ang suporta sa gobyerno at kasama po dun sa elemento ng sedition ay yung inflicting harm or revenge against a public officer. Nasa revised penal code po yan. Eksakto po yan dun sa posibleng mangyari kapag may pinapatay out of revenge. Dahil pag pinatay daw siya, kailangan patayin ng presidente. So, sedition po yun. And it will amount to murder if it executed. And you can imagine who is the beneficiary of the death of the sitting president. You cannot take this threat lightly.
Okay. Yes, sir. Follow up lang kay Tito Ronald before we let you go. So, tama po bang sabi ni Ronald na gano'n nga, kung sakali na umabante ang anumang kaso na maisampa at for example, makonvict, pwede siyang makulong pero hindi siya maaaring matanggal sa pwesto unless may impeach. In other words, if it gets to that point, she can go to jail but still be the VP.
Theoretically.
Senator De Lima, who was an example.
Yes.
She was a sitting elected official and she was charged criminally but later on acquitted. And that happened also during our term. And we never raised any hand to influence anybody in the decision of the De Lima case.
Yes.
So,
Last note,
due process is due process.
Last point, Yusek. Meron bang movement para isabpina si ex-President Digong batay sa kanyang mga threats na sinabi kagabi about possible sedition at saka mutiny?
At the outset, let me say na napakinggan ko po, no, pero uulit-ulitin ko yung video dahil hindi ko pa talaga dalawang beses na pakanan. At the outset, I have to categorically state that there is no such thing as fractured governance, whatever that means to him. I do not understand what fractured governance means, but there is no such thing as a fractured governance. And if ever there are legal issues that are running through people's head right now because of what is happening, meron po tayong institutional mechanism to address that, and that is the courts. Why are we forgetting the important role of the courts? Ang Regional Trial Court, ang Court of Appeals, ang Supreme Court po, ang recourse if there is any legal impropriety or legal invalidity of acts committed by the executive or even the legislature. Huwag po tayong umalis sa sistema ng rule of law.
Of course po.
Yung reaction po na papatay tayo, gabilang ganti, or magpi-people power, hindi po rule of law yun.
Pero Yusek, do you find anything
available remedies?
Do you find anything legally objectionable sa sinabi ng dating Pangulo kagabi?
Well, we are studying closely the statements, but it is bordering again on sedition. Because of the tirade against the president, his inability to lead are all matters that are within the ambit of possibly sedition.
Okay.
But we will cross the bridge when we get there. The investigation will have to be done, and we will deal with it squarely as well, based on
Okay.
the evidence.
Maraming salamat.
Yusek, idadagdag,
Sige.
Bula nga, idadagdag niyo ba yung mga dating sinabi ni President Duterte? It's not the first time that he has called for withdrawal of support from the government eh. Idadagdag niyo ba yun kung sakasakali?
Tama po yun. Kasi yung protected speech po, may limitation yan pag meron tinatawag na to clear and present danger. You have to understand not only the present statement, but all contemporaneous acts. Yung mga dati pong sinabi, pag duduktong-duktongin natin yan to understand the context of the statement. And if it crosses the line, then we'll have to deal with it based on the existing laws.
Okay. Maraming salamat. Justice Undersecretary Attorney Jesse Andres, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Maraming salamat, Yusek.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Yusek.